my name is Gabrielle Jolie, and today we'll be doing the 4 basic stitch embroidery mini course. These stitches include the stem stitch, split stitch, chain stitch, and detached chain, and these are the foundational stitches that you'll need for any embroidery project. We're going to jump right into learning how to do the stem, split, chain, and detached chain stitch. So in the PDF there is a template, and this is what your template looks like. And what you're going to do is print out your PDF and the template and trace it onto your fabric. Now this piece here I have printed with the actual template, but you're fine to just use a regular pencil or a marker or even a water-soluble pencil like this one I have here to put this design onto your fabric and get ready to actually do your stitching on top of it. It's just a basic guide to help you move along. So as a side note, you do not need to trace the template onto your fabric or have printed fabric like this. That's just a guideline if you want to have perfectly straight lines and kind of a formula for creating your embroidery here. But now we're just going to set up the hoop, and I'm just going to use a blank piece of fabric today. So you put the inner hoop, with the one without the screw, on the bottom. Then you put your fabric over top, and you put the outer ring on top of that. You're going to loosen up the screw a bit, and then put that right over top of the inner hoop. Now, the most important part is that this fabric isn't loose here. So you want to really tighten this up as much as possible. It might hurt your fingers, but it'll be worth it. And you're going to pull all the way around the hoop. You're going to go bit by bit around the entirety of your embroidery hoop, and this part might seem tedious, but it's also super important because it keeps all of your stitches from puckering the fabric and basically ruining the piece of fabric that you're embroidering onto. So tighten it up, and then once you've made it all the way around, you're going to tighten it again and do the whole process over from the beginning. By the end, you should not be able to tighten this screw even a little bit. So I'm going to just do that part one more time. And if you're getting bored, just go into your little meditative place and you'll be done in 2 seconds. And when you're done, it should almost sound like a drum when you tap on your hoop. Yep, so here is your embroidery hoop all set up and ready to go. It's tight, and now we'll get into the stitching. We're starting with stem stitch. The next part is threading your needle. So when you get your embroidery floss, it comes in these little bunches of 6 threads. I'm going to hold this up to the camera here so that you can see them. There's 6 individual threads here that are really tiny, and you can separate these and do embroidery with just 3 of them or just 2 of them. But today, while we're learning, just to keep it easy, I'm going to use the whole piece of floss here. So you're going to get your needle, and in order to thread your needle, you're going to dampen the edges of your thread here. I usually just lick it. It's not that gross, come on. And then you're going to hold it at the very tips of your fingers so that just a little piece is sticking out, and this makes sure it's stiff enough to go straight through that teeny tiny little eye of your needle. And if you don't get it on your first try, you'll get it on your second or your third, or one of those tries after that. Don't give up. And then you want to get a good amount of thread, but not too much that it'll end up getting tangled. So I usually use my arm as a reference for this. I go to about my elbow, and you want to make sure that you also have a tail coming out of your needle here so that it doesn't pull through and fall out of your needle while you're embroidering. So get that amount, and then you're just going to give it a little snip and and we're going to tie a knot at the end of our thread. And I just do this by using 2 fingers, wrapping all the way around, going through that loop and pulling it tight. And usually you'll want to double knot this just to make sure it's secure. Okay, now the thread will go into the fabric.